What if I told you the key to becoming a stronger, more resilient runner isn't found out on the road? What if the secret to powerful, injury proof legs has nothing to do with adding a single extra mile to your training log? If you're a runner, especially someone over 35, this probably sounds painfully familiar. You feel a little niggle, you rest it, you go back out there, push the mileage to catch up to where you were, and then a different, maybe even worse, injury pops up. It's a frustrating cycle that sidelines you from the sport you love, and you're not alone in this. The yearly injury rate for recreational runners can be incredibly high, with some studies showing nearly half of all runners getting injured over a 1-year period. A huge number of those are overuse injuries, which can make up around 80% of all running injuries, and they come from the constant repetition of the same movement. So, what if the very thing you think is making you stronger, those extra grueling miles, is actually what's breaking you down over time? Here's the truth. After we hit 35, our bodies just respond to training differently. The game changes, but most of us keep playing by the same old rules that we did in our 20s, believing that more running is the only answer. But the real answer isn't more impact, isn't more running. It's a smarter, targeted load progression and load increase for us runners. In this video, I'm going to go over a simple, almost overlooked piece of equipment that can completely change your training, build serious strength in your legs, and forge the kind of resilience that makes injuries feel like a thing of the past. And we're going to do it all by walking. Stick with me because this is the exact information I wish I could give every single runner who comes into my virtual physical therapy practice that are feeling defeated by yet another injury, especially those over the age of 35. If you're a runner, you're a driven person. That drive is what gets you out of the door on a cold morning and what pushes you through the last tough mile. But as we get into our late 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, that same drive, when it's all about adding miles, can become our biggest problem. And we just have to face the fundamental truth. Our bodies are changing. We aren't like what we were in our teens and 20s and even early 30s. First, there's a process called sarcopenia. It's a technical sounding word, but it just means the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. This process can start as early as our 30s, and then it picks up speeds after 40. In fact, after the age of 50, you can lose 1 to 2% of your muscle mass every year, and strength can decline even faster. Why does this matter for runners? Your muscles are your body's armor. They absorb impact, keep your joints stable, and give you the power to move forward. But when that armor starts to thin out, all that stress goes straight to your bones, tendons, and ligaments. That's why an ache you could run off in your 20s turns into a full-blown tendinopathy in your 40s and beyond. And here's the real kick to gut. Just running more doesn't stop this. You can't outrun muscle loss because running doesn't technically build strength or build muscle. At the same time that our muscle mass is decreasing, our bone density also starts a slow, steady decline. For everyone, this starts around age 30, but for women particularly, this process can speed up dramatically after menopause. So this is a huge deal for a high impact sport such as running. While that impact is great for telling your bones to stay strong, if you're already losing density, the repetitive motion and pounding from thousands of foot strikes can create a perfect storm for stress fractures to form. Therefore, we need a way to load our skeleton to signal it to stay strong, but without the excessive repetitive impact that leads to breakdown. We got to find a happy medium. And then there's recovery. As we get older, our body's repair processes just aren't as zippy and fast as they used to be. Hormonal shifts change how quickly our muscles and tendons can rebuild after a tough workout. That 2-day recovery period or even 1-day recovery period that worked perfectly in your 20s might now need to be 3 or 4 days to recover from that higher intensity run. But we're creatures of habit, right? We stick to our schedules and push through the fatigue because that's what we've always done. This, though, creates a cycle where we're breaking down tissues faster than we can repair them, which is the very definition of an overuse injury. Faster breakdown compared to how fast we can repair them. This mix of less muscle, lower bone density, and slower recovery creates what I like to call the mileage trap. You feel like you're losing fitness, so your gut tells you to run more, but more running on a body that's less equipped to handle it and slower to recovery just digs you into a deeper hole. It blows up your injury risk and hurts your performance in the long run. In fact, some research has shown that running more than 19 miles a week is associated with a higher rate of injury. We can get caught in this loop of training hard, getting hurt, resting, and then doing it all over again, never actually fixing the underlying weaknesses. But the solution isn't to stop running. The solution is to change how we think about getting strong. It's about realizing that becoming a better runner doesn't always mean running more. And I know I've talked about this before. I preach strength training and cross training and injury prevention, mobility, all of those, because running isn't the only thing we need to do as humans. That's not what we were just built to do. We were built to run, but not only run. So if more miles aren't the answer, what is? The solution is surprisingly simple. It's a weighted vest walking. I also know that weighted vest walking has hit the fitness and the influencer and social media by storm over the past 6 months to a year, which I just love and hate at the same time because it's become popular and the it thing to do. I've been promoting and using weighted vest walking, or rucking as what it was originally coined at, for the past 5 or 6 years. I love it. I think it's a great thing to do. CrossFit World really started the whole rucking movement, more so after, caught on from our military and our veterans, because that's how they train. That's what they do. But that's a whole different story, is the history of weighted vest walking. But I love that it's starting to catch on for a whole bunch of different benefits for women, for the bone density, for everything I'm going to talk about in this video. Weighted vest walking, it's trendy right now, but there's a reason why, and there's so many benefits to it other than just increasing your walking capacity for weight loss. And I know what some of you are thinking: walking. I'm a runner. I need intensity. I need to get that sweat on. Walking is not going to do it for me. I'm not going to be able to get a good workout from me. But listen, this isn't a leisurely stroll out in the park. This is about turning a low impact activity into a powerful tool for building strength, fortifying your bones, and boosting your overall fitness. For so many runners over 35, this is really the missing piece of the puzzle for their fitness and their overall wellness. A weighted vest is just what it sounds like, a vest with weights that you wear on your torso. By adding that external load, though, you completely change what walking demands from your body. You're increasing the mechanical load, the physical stress that tells your body to get stronger, without the high impact forces that come from running. And honestly, running doesn't really help make you stronger in the sense of muscle strength like weighted vest walking does. And it's truly the best of both worlds. You get the stimulus for strength without the punishment, and a little bit of the cardio without the extreme high cortisol that they're all taught, that also is trendy right now. So let's break down why this is such a game changer for runners. First, your bones. As I mentioned before, bone density is a big concern as we age, especially for postmenopausal women. Our bones work on a simple use it or lose it principle. When you load your skeleton, you stimulate the cells that build new bone tissue. Weighted vest walking increases the force going through your bones with every single step, but in a controlled, low impact way. That's most of the time. Walking is not considered a weight loading activity to increase bone strength, but you add that weighted vest on and it changes that completely. It's like making a deposit into your bone bank. And the research on this is really clear. Studies have consistently shown that exercising with a weighted vest can help prevent bone loss in postmenopausal women, and in some cases, even increase bone mineral density. One long-term study even found that women who used weighted vests for over 5 years were able to prevent hip bone loss, which is critical for preventing fractures in later in life, because hip fractures are a huge issue. And that's a huge benefit you just can't get from non-weight bearing activities like swimming or cycling or non-weighted walking. Next huge benefit is muscular strength and power. These are your engine for running. Walking with a weighted vest turns a simple movement into a full body resistance workout. The extra weight makes your entire posterior chain, Your glutes, hamstrings, and calves work harder with every step. It also fires up your core and back muscles as they work to keep you stable and upright. This is functional strength, the exact kind of strength you need for running. Stronger glutes give you power for hills and a stable pelvis, which helps reduce the risk of things like IT band syndrome and runner's knee. Stronger calves act like springs, making you a more efficient runner. You're building a more powerful and resilient body without the high impact stress of things like plyometrics or heavy gym lifting. I still promote those are still great, but we can't do all the things all the time or our body just won't recover from it. And this makes it weighted walking makes it a super accessible way to get strong versus those gym workouts. Then there's the cardio boost. You don't have to be sprinting to get a great cardio workout. Adding a vest that's just 5 to 10% of your body weight can raise your heart rate way more than what you get during regular walking. This means you can turn a brisk walk into a solid aerobic workout for those endurance activities. So for runners, this is gold. It lets you build your aerobic base, the foundation for all of your endurance, what those easy runs are for, without adding more stress and strain to your body and doing too much too soon to your week. It's a way to get quality cardio on a recovery day, making you fitter while actively helping your body heal and get stronger. Finally, a weighted vest is an amazing tool for improving your posture and balance too. Two things that really decrease and get worse over time. The vest gives you constant feedback, making you more aware of your body's position. It naturally encourages you to stand taller, pull in your core to support the weight, helping to fix that slouchy posture many of us get from sitting at a desk all day and just overall age-related changes in our body. This improved posture translates directly to better running form, making you more efficient, able to breathe better, and less likely to get injured. Basically, weighted vest walking directly tackles the main challenges facing runners over 35. It safely loads the skeleton to fight bone loss, builds functional strength to protect your joints, and gives you a low impact way to boost your cardio boost. It's definitely not a replacement for your running. Don't think I'm saying that. But it's a great supplement, the ultimate supplement to make every single mile you do run stronger and safer. It can also help with weight loss if that is your goal, by keeping the intensity of your workouts, but not to the detriment of your body. It gives your walks, like I said, an extra boost. It builds lean muscle mass, which are all contributing to weight loss if that's your goal. All right, let's get practical. Putting this into your routine is simple, but doing it the right way is the key to getting all the benefits without creating new problems. Too much, too soon, too fast, that type of thing. We still want to avoid that even with weighted vest walking. So I want to go through kind of a step-by-step guide on how to create or how to start using a weighted vest walking in addition to your running, or as a secondary activity if you are currently injured, because that can also be a benefit too. So not all vests are created the same. Choosing the right vest is really important. You'll want to look at fit, material, and how you can adjust the weight in there. I have my two favorites. I'll link them down below. I have this one that you get from Amazon. It kind of goes, you can see there in the video that I'm sharing, it goes around your arms and just a single snap. I like these because they're super comfortable, especially for beginners. To the most part, I kind of don't like how it goes right underneath my armpits, but I still like it. My downside to this style is that it's a single weight. It's not adjustable weight. So as you grow and develop, you can't add the weight to it. It's cheaper up front, but since you're going to need more than one, you're going to have to buy more. So it ends up becoming more expensive. This is my favorite one. This is my Bullet brand, USA brand weighted vest. I love it because it comes with sand, like bags that you can fill with sand to put in there, or you can use weight plates is what I'm putting in there. It's super adjustable, super adaptable to what you have, and you can add weights or take weights away. It's a little bit different style, obviously, as you can see, than the one that I showed from before on Amazon. It's also pricier to start with, but it's infinitely adjustable. You can put, I don't even remember what the max amount of weight is on there, but way more than what you'll probably ever need. And if you get to that weight, that's pretty much where you're going to stay at for that weight amount. So those are my two, and they're my favorites. And I'll kind of go through more about what picking the best one for you will mean. But those are my favorites and the ones that I recommend, and I'll link them down below in the description as well. So keeping in mind those two vests, fit and comfort, this is really everything. A vest that bounces around will definitely chafe and throw off your balance. So you want one that fits you really well. You want one that fits snugly but doesn't feel like it's squeezing the life out of you. And adjustable straps at the shoulders and waist are really beneficial. That's why I like that bullet one over the other one from Amazon. They really help with the secure fit. Weight distribution is the other thing. The vests really spread out the weight evenly across your torso, front, and back. This helps you maintain a good posture. A vest or backpack that just pulls you backward is really going to strain your back and shoulders. I started way back when I started weighted walking, I started with just a backpack, and you can absolutely do that. Cinch the backpack down, use the straps that buckle in the front. That's a great way to get started with lower weights, especially if you're starting like with 5 or 10 pounds, just to get going until you can afford or get the one that is one of those two that I recommend. But I did notice that it caused me some strain on my upper traps and on my shoulders because it was definitely pulling me back some and put a little bit more stress on my low back. So I don't necessarily recommend a backpack for long term unless it's specifically built like a rucksack built for rucking. Okay, material is another big one. You're going to sweat. So you want to look for a durable, breathable materials like neoprene or nylon that are easy to clean as well. Finally, adjustable weight. I almost always recommend the bullet vest because it has removable weights. You can change it out. You have different options there. And because this lets you start light and then add more as you get stronger over time. It's perfect because you can go heavier for a slow strength focused walk and lighter for a faster cardio focused walk as you get a little bit more in tune with things and a little bit more advanced. The biggest mistake people make with weighted vest walking is going too heavy too soon. Your muscles might handle it, but you're going to be sore. But your joints and tendons definitely need more time to adapt. I like the 5 to 10% rule. You want to start with a vest that weighs between 5 to 10% of your body weight. So, for example, if you weigh 150 pounds, that's a 7.5 to 15 pound weighted vest. All right, progressing. Slow and steady wins the race. Start with 1 or 2 walks a week for about 20 to 30 minutes at that 5% weight. And then after a couple of weeks, if you feel great, have no new aches and pains, and you can make your walks a little bit longer or add a third day each week. Only add more weight to the vest after you've comfortably adapted to the first load for several weeks. And when you do, you want to add it in small jumps, just a pound or 2 at a time. Listen to your body. This is the most important rule for any activity, anything like that. If you feel any sharp pain, especially in your low back or joints, take the vest off. Muscle soreness is one thing. Joint pain is a red flag. It's much better to be patient than to get overeager and sideline yourself from running because you did too much weight or had a poor fitting vest. Part 3 of getting the vest right is perfecting your form. Walking with a vest should make your natural walk stronger, not contorted and make you walk differently. You want to focus on these key cues when you're walking with a weighted vest. 1, walk tall. Pretend there's a string pulling the top of your head toward the sky. Keep your chest up, your shoulders down and relaxed, and look forward. Don't look down. Don't look all around. Don't look up. The vest should help make you feel tall, not cause you to hunch over because it's so heavy. 2, engage your core. Gently pull your belly button in towards your spine. This will protect your low back and really make sure you're nice and supported and have that tall posture. 3, you want to drive with your glutes. With every step, think about squeezing your glutes to push yourself forward. This makes sure you're using your powerful hip muscles, not accessory muscles. Next, land underneath you. Try not to overstride. This is where your foot lands way out in front of your body. You want to think about your feet landing directly under your hips, just like when you are walking. This is way kinder to your knees and your shins and just the whole posterior chain, and it keeps you moving forward versus a braking motion. All right, I want to give you 3 easy ways to get started. A great approach to getting started with weighted vest walking is to swap one of your easy run days or cross-train days for one of these weighted walks. So workout 1, the bone and strength builder. The weight that you want to do is 8 to 10% of your body weight. The workout is walk for 20 to 35 minutes at a steady pace. If you have some gentle hills nearby, even better. The goal here in this workout isn't a crazy high heart rate, it's consistent, heavy loading to build that strength and bone density. You want to focus on powerful steps and great posture. Workout number 2 that I recommend is the cardio enhancer. The goal of this is to increase cardiovascular fitness. Your weight in your vest should be 5 to 7% of your body weight. And the workout is warm up for 5 minutes without the vest, a little quick walking, then pop on the vest and walk for 20 to 30 minutes at a brisk pace that gets your heart rate up. You should be able to talk, but only in short sentences. This is a perfect low impact swap for an easy run day. Workout number 3 style that you can add in is the active recovery walk. You want a weight of 5% of your body weight or less in the vest, and the workout is the day after a hard or long run, go for a very easy 20-minute walk with a light vest. This is a leisurely walk. The goal here is to just promote blood flow and help your body recover without adding any more stress, but you still get the benefit of that muscle and bone stress and building. Like any training tool, there's a right way and a wrong way to use a weighted vest. Knowing the common mistakes will keep you safe and on track with your weighted vest walking journey. The first mistake, the more is better mistake. This is error number 1. As runners, we're wired to think that harder work is always better. I see it all the time. I'm one of those. But throwing a vest on with 20% of your body weight on day 1 is just asking for trouble. It can strain your back and mess with your gait, and then you're just as a downhill spiral and domino effect for everything else. The fix: respect that 5 to 10% starting rule. Consistency over the long haul is so much more valuable than high intensity, crazy intensity in the short term and only being able to do one walk and then waiting for several weeks because you hurt yourself adding too much weight. Number 2 mistake, ignoring your posture. This is the second biggest mistake, is letting the vest control your posture. If you're hunching forward or arching your back, the vest is either too heavy or you're not engaging your core. The fix for this is before every walk, do a quick posture check. Use a mirror, use a camera, whatever you need, but you should check that your shoulders are back, your chest is up, and your core is tight. If you start to slump mid-walk, stop, reset, and maybe even take some weight out until your postural muscles get stronger. That's a key that you need to modify and decrease the intensity of how much weight you have. 3, wearing it for everything. A weighted vest is a specific tool for a specific job. It's not an all-day accessory, and I've heard some influencers talk about this. And please do not wear it on your actual run. Running is already a high-impact sport. Adding extra weight for runs just multiplies those forces and dramatically increases your injury risk. Use the vest strategically for your walks, maybe 2 to 3 times a week to start off, and let your runs be your runs. The strength you build from walking will carry over to the runs. I promise. You don't need to add the vest to your running. Plus, it's uncomfortable. It's not fun to wear. I've tried it. Promise. Number 4, forgetting your foundation, your feet. You're adding a lot of extra load through your entire body, and it all ends up at your feet. Wearing worn out or unsupportive shoes can cause problems all the way up your chain. So make sure you're wearing good, supportive walking or running shoes that aren't past their prime. Your feet are your foundation, so you need to support them. Mistake number 5, using it as a crutch for injury. Now, a weighted vest can be an amazing tool for rehab, and I use it with patients when you can't run, especially for certain stress injuries where loading is good. But if you have active low back pain, significant pelvic floor issues, or acute joint pain, that worsens, especially if you add weight to it, you should not use a weighted vest without talking to a doctor or physical therapist first. Always get clearance from whatever healthcare provider before starting something new, especially if you have a pre-existing issue or a current issue. A vest is a tool to help prevent injuries, not a magic cure for current ones, even though it can be a tool used to help recover from an injury. I can work with you on that for sure. So the ideas we've talked about today aren't just theories. They're real, practical roadmap to help you break free from that cycle of injury and build a running body that will last. It's all about training smarter, not just harder. I know so many of you have dealt with these exact same frustrations, so I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me about the biggest running injury challenge you've ever faced. We all learn when we share our stories, so let's get that conversation started. Also, I've linked my 2 favorite weighted vests down below in the description, so be sure to check that out if you're ready to get started with weighted vest walking. If you're currently dealing from an injury or want some injury prevention techniques or coaching for running with weighted vest walking, my one-on-one coaching is open and available. Click the link below to schedule a free consult call as well. All right, I refuse to accept the narrative that runners over 35 are destined for a future of injuries and slower race times. And if you should reject that too. The problem isn't our age, it's our approach. For too long, we've been stuck in the mileage trap, thinking that the only way to get better is to pound up the pavement more, build more runners, or build more mileage. But the real path to longevity and strength in the sport is building a body that's truly resilient outside of running. Weighted vest walking is more than just another workout. It's a shift in thinking. It's a low impact, time efficient, and science backed way to build stronger muscles, protect your bones from age related decline, and boost your fitness without the punishing toll of extra miles. It's about adding a different kind of stress, a productive, strengthening load that directly fights back against the challenges we face as we get older. By embracing this, you're investing in your running future. You're building the powerful legs and strong skeleton you need to handle the road of running. You're choosing a smart path, sustainable training that can help you running healthy, happy, and strong for decades to come. Thank you for joining me today, and make sure you like and subscribe. That way you're up to date on all the injury prevention tips that I get. Now, go get stronger with that weighted vest. I can't wait to see what you do.